Oops. Well, we're started. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, comrades, and welcome to another episode of I didn't even get to fix my setup here. My hair is all messed up. My setup's all messed up. My brain's all messed up. I'm your host. You know who I am. And if you watched Heisa's stream, you saw me there too. That was a blast. I'm back. Every day I hope and pray that I find a way to make videos every day, or at least every week like I'm supposed to. But instead, I'll make them when I can. After this, if we're lucky, I might jump into another stream and mess around in Railroute, because I made my very first Railroute map. And I really need water, too. Holy crap. Okay. But before we get going and do the under construction thing, everyone knows what we have to do to get the stream ready. To get everything warmed up. To get everybody warmed up. Starting on time, too. That's always nice. It's not Tetris. It's not Tetris. There it is. Cool. Now let's just let some people filter in. Move some things off my desk so I can use my hands freely. And we'll have another normal Thursday. Thankfully, for the first time in a while, we'll have a nice normal Thursday. Ooh, you see me slide that one in? That was slick. Let's see if I can get this one down right. Oh! Nice. I definitely haven't lost my touch. Though it's been multiple weeks. Hi, Tyler. Good to see ya. Wish you could have been at the narrow gauge convention and associated craziness. Alright. There we go. This over here. But this, okay, I appreciate all the blocks. So we back in the mine. Alright. Put this over here. Let's put this over. I'd have much preferred it to college, but what can one do? Yeah. I talked with Weibold about doing Merger Mania with everybody. And he also thinks it's a good idea. So, you know, now we just need to catch them all at the right time. Oh, man, I missed that one. So much for my magic touch. Also, the next batch of, I think it's a good idea. The next batch of trading cards will be arriving at my house sometime in the next week. And once those are all sorted and organized and everything, they will be going into, they'll be going to the website. No Rule G violations. Listen, you're allowed to drink if you're the executive. There's nothing that says don't drink in the office. Just don't drink in the cab. Alright, put this here. This here. This is going well. It's going relatively well. This is my favorite little tradition while we get people organized into here. I think I'll do, if I do a second stream tonight of my Railroute map, I'll do it just like live in the Discord or something, so that I get to hang out with everybody, because I've missed just about everybody since I've been away. I haven't really talked with many folks. And I think I did, myself and many other people seem to have caught the mildest of colds or something. Although it might have just had something to do with the dry air and altitude and different vegetation and whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I do need water. Thank you. Yeah, I thought I had enough and I did not. Thank you. Gloria is lovely. There we go. Let's put that there. I had never flown JetBlue before, or at least I hadn't in my uh, in like a long time in recent memory. And the fact that I got free Wi-Fi and DirecTV and also like movies and stuff on demand and a plug at every seat, that it was pretty nice. I'm not used to having those kinds of amenities. Okay, I've got it dancing over there. Yep, I just rang them out. I just didn't wipe the floor. It was hot enough in there, I figured it would all just evaporate given time. I didn't feel like getting on my knees. Love you too. Hello, Orion. Tyler, I don't think Orion is going to be one who is going to say much for his sanity. He's here watching the stream. And lots of other folks are new around here. I recently crossed 3,000 subscribers, which I didn't even realize... Ooh, wow, look at Tetris. I didn't even realize that had happened. So when I just double-checked, just to sort of look at my analytics out of curiosity, I noticed I had gone over 3K. I was pretty excited about it. At some point, like in the last couple of weeks, I went over 3K. This actually, over the history of my channel, in terms of subscribers, the last month or so has been the greatest increase that I have ever had, as a matter of fact. And I owe that partially to Heist, because he's very cool, and we hang out, and we play games and things. A little cross-promotion sort of dealio. And also due to just the algorithm favoring random videos, particularly random Terminus episodes. Yeah, Dragon, you're 10 minutes late. The end of the world. You didn't get to see me completely fumble the opening to this stream. Out of curiosity, do you guys watch VODs at all? Like the stream videos after the stream has come out? Not even necessarily mine. I was just, I'm just sort of curious just to get answers from the folks that are in the chat right now, because I usually don't. Part of it is because I don't have the time for like an unedited version of anything, I need my entertainment... Oh no! I need my entertainment organized. But... Ooh, look at that. But on the other hand, there were some creators that I used to always watch, like full-length videos, and also like stream VODs. After Jeremy of the Achievement Hunters moved back to Boston and stopped being in the office with them, he did a lot of these like multi-hour long Among Us streams with the mods that add all the different roles. Not a fan of the person's lack of proper naval assets, as in like in-game assets, or like he doesn't know how to use Navy. Because I mean, yeah, the asset packs are... I mean, the DLC is not worth money unless you really care about how it looks. Which, I get it if you do, but I don't. But yeah, I used to watch those, or at least put them on in the background a lot. And he doesn't know how to do Navy. Ah, okay, yeah. No, I totally get that, because I, too, do not really know how to do Navy. In fact, the people who do know how to do Navy, I'm getting further and further convinced that it's like black magic, that they've learned some sort of dark art, and that they're lying to me. Sort of like people who say they can fold fitted sheets. I don't think that's a thing that you can do. I don't... No. You either can't fold a fitted sheet or you're lying. Anyway, not giving your ships fire damage control. Yeah. What are we doing tonight? That's a good question. Well, once I die, which I think we've blown away our previous high score, so maybe the stepping away from this has really helped. But goal today is probably just to do more scenery, some stuff around the river. I don't remember what we named the town that we just built. I hope somebody remembers because I don't. I didn't remember to write it on the depot or write it anywhere at all, as a matter of fact. But it was a really cute name, and I liked it a lot, which is a shame. Um, that's the thing. These things, like, you know how, like, certain TV series have lore that is not, what's the word? Lore that is incomplete in the series, and there's a lot of sort of word of God with books or even just like podcasts with the creators or behind the scenes talking. Consistent? Yeah. Um, well, I mean, lore that isn't complete sounding. Um, the one that comes to mind is Steven Universe, but I don't necessarily expect everyone here to have watched Steven Universe. But there's a lot of stuff that, like, the creator of that show has said. Constance? Are you guys just, like, being spurious with names right now? Because I appreciate it. Um, oh, can I get this in? Nope. Damn it. Oh, yes! Yes! Task failed successfully. Um, anyway. So, the stuff that I write down, the stuff that we say in the streams, even the stuff that comes out of my mouth is secondary to whatever ends up on the route. Like, if I wrote somewhere that the VMR has, like, 10 shays and I accidentally placed down 12, now the VMR has 12 shays. That's not an issue with the map. That's an issue with my lore taking. Constance. Yeah, does remind of Constantinople. But it's Istanbul, not Constantinople. Been a long time gone, Constantinople. Alright, this is... I'm running out of... This is not good. No, 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 no. I swear I didn't do that on purpose. Oh, no! Oh, well, we definitely got a new high score. Oh, and we get the little animation. Because Russia and space. Yeah, Tyler is yelling about freedom. He's on this rocket getting out of here. I am the man who arranges the blocks that are building a highly secret base. Hip hip hurrah for the USSR, we are sending our men to outer space. Oh wow, we actually barely beat our last top score. Alright, we're done. Back to Trainz, guys. How about we play Trainz? Okay. Let's flip over to the route layer, as we have to do. And then... name. Constance. So whatever I said in the last video, now that it says Constance on the side of this depot, I think, should. It does. Cool. Now that's the name of the town. Like, no matter what, that's the name of the town. Remember that from the VOD I watched. If you knew the lore by memory, that'd be weird. Yeah, I mean, it would be, sort of. But on the other hand, it would be cool. Really, what it boils down to is how quickly can I come up with it on the spot when I'm asked. I mean, that was what I did with the zombie train for a very, very long time. So yeah. All of it was... I mean, it wasn't memorized, and in fact, I believe I contradicted myself more than once over the course of that series with stuff that I said, and then I said something different, you know, a year or two down the line. But it was just sort of a creative writing exercise almost, or well, an improv exercise. Although, you know, everyone knows 75% of it was just, what did this engine do? And the answer is usually like, we went and got it and restored it and ran it on the main line, mango gobbles. pretty much. Uh, Native Americans, Great Tornado, Capitalism and its Consequences. Yeah. Well, we have the native stuff is all like it's in the Adam's deep lore, and then the tornado you're probably thinking of the Great Hurricane, but close enough. Big weather event that changed the course of history over here. It really is the sole reason that Olive is the way it is. Let's just do this. Let's fill this in. And then we're going to draw it right up against this line here, more or less. So I might have gotten better at not Tetris, but I definitely got worse at drawing straight lines in Trainz. Because, boy, this is coming out poorly already. Doing tornado damage paths in non-storm chasing games. I mean, doing... That would be interesting to show, like, a tornado-damaged area. It'd probably just be a bunch of, like, areas, or, wrecked up houses, whatever. I like that you can do a grand native population that plays in the politics and effects of the region. The thing is, I'm really just sort of taking the broad strokes of U.S. history, and I haven't really dug into it that much. I don't have too much deep lore for like the broad strokes history of the country wherever this is. There's a little bit of the history of the region. There's a little bit of the sort of certain names for places that are native derivative. There's a sort of an alliance between two individuals with native ancestry with regard to the valley line over there. So, it's something. Let's see, what have we not done lately? This one. Let's see what we can do with this. Let's rotate it 90 degrees. Yeah, okay, like that. If I can get this all the way up to here, for those that you really want, if you don't, doesn't change the map much. Yeah, I know, most people are here for choo-choo. And I appreciate that. Everybody loves choo-choo. I'm just sort of thinking about this. I look at this and I think about it and I go sort of, like, okay, what informs this world? And I've talked about this a lot, but when you're doing much of anything, but, a route build is one of those things, there are certain things where you're going to want to look at it and go, how did we get here? And work from as far back as you can to sort of inform the things that you have in the present. So one of the things that this is a good real life example in a story that I'd like to share. The north end of the city of Boston. There are there were three railroads that tied into terminals in the city of Boston. Now, for whatever reason, the Fitchburg Railroad, which was the one that went west across the northern tier of Massachusetts, if you can call it as such, and eventually through the Hoosick Tunnel and out into Albany, was the westernmost line of the three, like I said, but had the easternmost terminal, which meant it had to fly over the other two. Now, its line had to fly over the other two on the way in. The terminals were, in fact, right next to one another. The thing about it is, you have now these bridges in real life that you sort of have to, you look at and you go, well, why the heck is it like that? Why do these tracks from the right go all the way over to the left? And the answer is just because the Fitchburg wanted to be on the right and had to go left. Did somebody say lore? Is that the hurricane of 87? Um, anyway. Let's, Only type 200 characters, yeah. And that's all going to be forest area, and then this side's going to be something. What are we going to put on this side? Eggs and something! A delicious combo. Where's that fallow field texture? This brown. We'll just use this, because we don't use it often. Where does the farmland end? Okay, so that's a good question. And I can pull up the map to describe this, because it's actually something I was thinking about earlier. But, so we get through Bellington, and then we're going to go another ways, and then we'll get to another town and a set of mountains. Or a set of hills, really. We have to weave through those a little bit. We're going to keep up the 4-track main line. It's going to be some rough, it's going to be some rough going, probably. And then we will duck into the Raven Bridge Tunnel, which is sort of analogous to the Hoosick Tunnel, and then we'll come out the other end. Whoa. With the NYC B&O interurban, my area could connect to the Erie and PR in less than an hour. Nice. Okay. Someone in the Discord was asking about a place where you had 2 railroads and 2 rivers converging. And I didn't necessarily I didn't get the chance to pick their brain as to what that meant. Yes, hi Dean, I am back. I was very tired yesterday, so I didn't jump in any calls or anything. I'll probably socialize after this, but I'll also do a stream of Railroad, like I said. Probably. We'll see how it goes. Alright, there we go. There's that. Don't really love this texture, but whatever. It's, you know, gotta live with it. We need to sort of clone stamp some trees in here. Also, this mixed farming where the farmers choose, or the farming things that the government wants. That's a good question. I would probably go with the former. Otherwise, it wouldn't be so checkered, you know? We might get into sort of a government mandated set of plots as we go further on, which would be interesting because then we can just copy-paste the exact same stuff. Nice Oxbow Lake seems kind of far from the stream. Oh. The stream's kind of hefty, so you know, it worked itself around. Let's see. Oh, right, I wanted to pull up the map. Where's my Tollbridge map? So, let me share my screen. Here you go. This is where we're at right now. We're actually over here at the Road River. Noticeably further to the left than was originally planned, but whatever. So we've built up to here. We go to here. The farms go to over here. There's probably a little bit more in here. And then this valley sort of narrows up. There might still be some farms, but it'll look more like these areas where... It'll look more like sort of this area. Or maybe it'll just be grazing land. But this hillier stuff, you know? Because this is sort of narrowing into a valley, and then we have this here, and then the tunnel is going to be somewhere over here, and then it popped us out at Raven Bridge. This was, like I said, this used to be the Jefferson and Gilson main line. which was built a long time ago. We've talked about other lore stuff in this area, but yeah, that's the gist of it. Also, we need to get the highway down, which yeah, we'll do that. South Bellington, and then in fact, this highway is probably going to go this way and then just like cut across this area here. Maybe duck in across this and have a smaller road do this. Well, we'll figure that out. We'll burn that bridge when we come to it. I'm back after my painful cross-city journey. Yeah, sometimes that can be rough. I was heading home from the airport yesterday, and I managed to miss my stop on commuter rail, which is something I actually don't think I've ever done before. I slept right through it. Alright, we're gonna need some trees. Those are some dense trees. They are much denser than I probably need them to be. Whatever. Let's get some trees planted over here. I'm gonna make some Tetris blocks. Tyler will love that. Something is these are much higher fidelity than I'm used to. I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. Remember when they advertised like a tree planting wand? Whatever happened to that? Why are you putting Tetris on the Christian Trainz route? You know, it's kind of funny we got... I should have kept the Anarchy chess, the Nook, whoever that was, in one of these fields. I placed it and then I got rid of it. It's just one of those things. Didn't feel like keeping it. Could have kept it as like a funny Easter egg, though. Which makes me think of the massive penis that's drawn on the Horseman route. So, buyer beware. When you download the Horseman route, there's a big dick next to, what is the town? I think Layton is the name of the town. So, you know. Let's see. I don't need to go right up to the road. I could leave like some little clearing space. We'll see. Hold on, we gotta move some trees. We gotta smooth out these edges a little bit. Hi, TJ. Thank you. Yeah, I've been wanting to actually socialize, but I basically slept all of yesterday. It was not my intention, but that's what happened. Let's see, let's clear up this edge a little bit. And then... if we can just move trees to make like a smooth or like a rounded edge instead of this jagged thing we just made, that I think will be a good indicator of where we should put our... The cock swamp was really integrated into the route. You might say it was firmly and deeply integrated. Okay, yeah, that actually looks not half bad. The fact that it's all of the same tree is almost completely hidden. If I went back, I could have done more tree variety, but this sort of goes by my old standby, which is just to find a few assets that you think look good together and use them a lot. Assets, textures, you know, that sort of thing. No need to overcomplicate. Alright, there we go. Move these guys over here. The woods are lovely, dark and deep. There we go. I'm still not sure exactly what I'm planning to do. Like, what is my final move with this? Because I didn't put in the grass like I was supposed to first, which is the thing that I always forget to do. So, the fact that I am doing this and I have like an interior that I'm neglecting by pulling trees out of it, the grass and the shrubs are going to be even more important to hide that. Hmm. The map from earlier made me realize there are a lot of small rivers on the map. Yeah, that is kind of my intention, and honestly, for a long time that was my MO. Not even necessarily on this route, but on previous ones. Going back to the IHR for a second, if you go and look at, say, the Old Main, you know, but the part of the Old Main that's between Troy and Providence, those guys, that area that was sort of completed and featured in the show more than once, there are a bunch of little streams and little bridges. There's some ridiculous stuff like the big S-curve stone bridge, but that's not what I'm talking about. Um, there are a lot of little streams. And I sort of recognized one of these things, which is, in reality, there are a lot of little streams. Uh, you know, especially in areas where it is wet. Especially in areas where you have a lot of rainfall and a lot of humidity, which would be this, northeastern vibe area. There are some areas that are going to look a lot more like high desert in the future. I went out to the South Park Mesa. Well, South Park, not Mesa, but whatever it's called. I went out to the South Park. Um, yes, that one. And I got to look at the area around Como and Kenosha Pass and all that. And I mean, it was neat, first of all, but second of all, it is an arid and different kind of landscape than the one to which I am most familiar. And there are areas of the map that I want to emulate that in. The Holy Land of Cookies. Yeah, we went over to, we went by where 346 wrecked. Um, we poured one out for the engineer on the switch stand at the top of Kenosha Pass. It was a good time. No, actually, Como was incredibly cool. Como is so cool. Uh, Not like necessarily that preservation org itself, but there is a like 1870s excursion car that is being restored next door that was part of um that was part of it was part of someone's house, and it just now exists. Like, they found it, they took it out, and they're trying to rebuild it from like the half that still exists. Andrew and Anthony make you laugh. Uh, yes. Anthony's really cool. Definitely. I did. You know what? There were some people on this trip that really liked the trading cards. Um, and I may or may not have told Anthony to possibly relay the existence of the trading cards to one George R.R. Martin. So, I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but I made mention of it. I also did talk to the guy who runs the gift shop there in the Colorado Rare Museum, and hope we might have that. Yes, the author and the owner of the Santa Fe Southern. One and the same. Turns out George R. R. Martin is a massive foamer, and I would have never guessed that. But here we are. Anthony's boss, technically. Yes, yeah, true. Um, So, it's fun. Everyone go to the Colorado Rare Museum and ask them if they have trading cards, so that they then are like, oh, ooh, there's a demand for these. Um, Personally, I'd probably be doing obviously the important three. I would be doing another round of 20 cards, which the last two I bought off of Gloria for an exorbitant price to give to Mark and Layton, um, and the yeah, so I'd be doing 20, 491, 346. Uh, the fella in the gift shop was saying that he'd want to have 318 done. Personally, I think 683 is a better candidate, and then the big Q thing because it's the big Q thing. And then the helper card would be the F unit because why not? Don't we have a document for this? Well, no, that's different, but yes. I mean, yeah, no, but yes. Um, I also did mention to the head of Studio 346 that would love to do some cross promotion and make trading cards for their upcoming game. Just throwing that out there. So, you know, Tyler, we should talk just in the future. We should talk when there isn't anyone else around to overhear secret things. Oh, Ryan, you haven't heard of it? It's called Century of Steam. It's very neat. I'm going to assume that you have heard of it. Oh man, I did get to play the demo though. I got to play the demo on Heis's computer, which was serious because he has like eight or he has four giant monitors and this crazy sound rig, uh, and what it's wacky. And for those of you who didn't, or for those of you who saw the stream, uh, from Mark's party, the every time I bin it, I have to pee in a cup. We broke his recording arrangement because we had no idea what we were doing, and he was downstairs making pizza when we decided to just commandeer his whole setup. Um, it's very promising, Dragon. You and everyone else should be very excited. I got to play the demo, which isn't much. But it's a demo. Of course it isn't much. It doesn't need to be much because it was also awesome. And I probably would have played more, except I was there with a bunch of other people, and we were supposed to be recording Citation Needed. So I played a little bit just to get a feel for it. And yeah, that was that. Also, man, do I just want somebody to drop Kenosha Pass into Deerell Valley so that I can drive that? I forgot my headphones, so I probably won't be interacting much. Oh, rip. You should definitely plug the stream into like the overhead speakers at your model railroad club. That's what I used to do with the NEB&W. I found the aux jack for the dispatcher's mic, and I would just blast Boston. Anyway, I did not explode in Century of Steam, but I did wreck the train really good. And I hear there are some future, hi Taki, there are some future happenings that are going to make some of my dreams come true. Thursday Club has no speakers. Skill issue. Oh, and for those who didn't watch the stream, you should. And for those who did watch the stream, when the game is going to make my dreams come true, Tyler. All of them. Every single one. And if not, I'm holding you to it. I won't say which ones, but you know. I won't say which ones are guaranteed. But I will say that we should all be excited about this. I was not able to drive the cars. No, the cars are not drivable. They're just They're just a model that's been dropped in. And boy, when I wrecked the train, I wrecked the train. In fact, we flipped the thing over, and Heist goes, "You're a beta tester. Now go look at which coupler links have detached and which ones haven't." The tender like flipped upside down and then crashed into the cab. It was amazing. I love that game already. Tyler, just let me say my inane teasy things. I'm not going to give anything specific away. Um, we wait for Steam Workshop support. I'm not saying that there won't be. I don't know if there will be or not. That's a question for people who are actually working on the game. Uh, but at in the demo, I could not drive anything around other than the steam locomotive, which was a sad steam locomotive with not a lot of beans. Stream of Heist. It's on Heist's channel. It's titled something like "Every time I bin it, I have to pee in a cup" or something. And it's just all of us who were at Mark's house for his little get-together party, whatever. We all went and took over his Derail Valley save and just, like, binned everything. Um, see ya, Mew. Surprised I'm not being yelled at. Oh, Jilly's got his trading card in the mail. That's good. Um, Man, wonderful, wonderful things will come out of Century of Steam. And when I say things, do not really listen to me, because I have a lot to say, and it's I hear things through the grapevine. I'm not exactly an authority on the state of Century of Steam or where it's going to go. I know much less than Tyler, so if you want to know when they're adding the big boy to the game, you should ask him. Um, that should fix this, right? I don't know why I was clipping into the ground. I know much more than Ellis, but cannot say. Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. Let me bumble. Let me run a smoke screen for you. Um, I was able to, I did talk to Mark very briefly about drivable things, and he didn't tell me about anything that they've got planned really. Uh, I had his attention for enough time to make my signature joke about it, which is that the drivable vehicle tech tree should start out with a horse and end with the giant walker from Wild Wild West. Um, and now Gloria is hacking up a lung. To prevent sensitive info getting out, keep spoilers from not happening. Y'all got flagship models in your guys' model collections. I mean, yeah, there's a lot that's going into that game from just everyone. Lots of beautiful stuff. I can't confirm how many cookies will be in the game, but I'm sure Tyler is going to like put out all 35 of them or however many. Actually, that's probably low. There are probably 50 variants now. I would have to assume, have to guess. Tyler, you let me know if I'm in the right ballpark or not. Tyler's gonna say, oh, there are like 70 gajillion variants, but we're only getting 25 in the game, and I'm gonna say, oh, the horror. Only 25 variants of cookie. You stopped looking. He stopped looking. Guys, COVID infection rate is down because they stopped testing. I think we're at least past, I can't even see it, past 40. Oh, God. Ooh, I got to hang out with a 40. I got to hang out with, I visited the Georgetown Loop, which is another railroad that if you had asked Weibold years ago, it would have been like railroad non grata. Just like badness all around. But no, we went to Como and we rode the loop. There are 10,000 versions of Cookie. The Cookie Monster will never be satisfied. I don't know why I said Cookie Monster like I'm friggin' Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's not what I'm getting at. The monster. Alright, let's do this. Let's grab this. Go over here. How much scenery can we realistically do today? We'll find out. Yep. I'm getting there, but I don't want to eat on stream. I'll eat afterward. I think I want my bag. I don't know where Gloria went. Let's do that. Don't make it too big, otherwise I won't be able to play. It's already in, like, Unreal Engine 5. It's already one of these things where I don't know if I could run it competently. There's going to be a lot of people that can't. We'll see how it goes. I just hope that the graphics can be turned down enough that I can get through it without chugging. And, Pat, it's good to hear that you're about to transition to your new job. I feel like handling an engine... I know I did just say what I just said. Oh, Tyler's going into Blender. I feel like handling an engine versus handling, like, a full game of that engine is... I don't know. One of the game is going to be like a chance cube. Takes chance on me. Isn't there an area over here where I had some slightly steeper walls to a river? I don't remember what I did. There's the river. Oh, it was just this down to the river's edge. Okay, never mind. So we can keep using this grass. Am I going to dispatch the playdate tomorrow? I don't have anything necessary to do this. I don't have any of the things. I don't know what I need to get. I don't even begin to know what I need to get for the playdate. So that's a problem for, like, ask me tomorrow if somebody's around tomorrow to, like, help me get all the stuff that I need in the couple of hours that I'll have to get it and, like, understand, then sure. You people wrote me into this, so, you know, whatever. Will there be World War II era 40-foot boxcars and flat cars? I don't know. Probably. I can only assume because... Well, it's narrow gauge, so I guess they had 40-foot stuff. I thought they settled on, like, a slightly smaller standard. But Century of Steam does include World War II era, so I would assume so. The stuff they've got now is pretty cute. I like it a lot. Again, when I say things, don't take this as the word of God. I'm not a developer. I don't know very much. I hear things from Mark, and I hear things from Tyler, and I hear things from Weibold every once in a while, but that does by no means make me the authority on what is coming, because, I mean, it's a big studio with a lot of people, and they're working on this thing, and I assume what we're going to get changes every day, in some manner of speaking. The fact that we have tunnels and terrain deformation advertised and polling, that's insane. And, you know, just like they want to do like a really involved Steam sim, but they don't have it yet. You know, I know that Heist would not let this thing go. Mark would not let this thing go without a very detailed and accurate Steam sim. And I was talking to one of the devs, and yeah. I don't remember which one I was talking to. The person that's working on a Steam sim. I mean, very literally, Railroads Online, we're going to make our own Railroads Online with blackjack and hookers, because QMA won't listen to us. Seems exactly like the vibe. However, I don't remember. It might have been Tristan. Um, what is Tristan's online name? I think I was talking to Goose. Point is, Steam Sim talking about snow collecting on the boiler impacting your ability to steam. Oh, Goose be Jake. Okay, then yeah, Goose. I only I met a lot of people. Some of them I only got the chance to meet once, and like introduce ourselves a little bit. The two that I remember are Auntie and Jersey, and those are just like former friends, I think. Well, I don't know I don't know if Auntie's involved or what, but uh, oh, Antimatter I think is the first person I spoke to about the Minecraft stuff when I got put in the server for planning that. Jersey is a riot. He's something. Uh, just you wait. I don't want to spoil anything, but just I'll say that. Just you wait. Um, so I'll do this. Leaves are changing. Horrible music is a few months away, excluding Sabaton, and Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Anyway, I don't want a lot for Christmas. So anyway, get abducted. Something happened. Something happened. I'm not at liberty to share right now. Um, see, I can keep a secret. I hate fall because of winter. Okay. Hate all the other seasons too. Then they all come before winter. I love me some winter. Can't wait for the snow. Bring on the snow. Come on, Mother Nature. Bring on your wrecking ball. Okay, let's. It's nowhere near Halloween. Halloween is closer than you think, and I had to reckon with that as well because I was looking at like the weekends that I have between now and then. We sort of had in the group of Rhode Island people, which I have dubbed the Rhode Island problem, uh, which the name comes from two places. One from the Rhode Island Problems Twitter, which was a thing, like a meme Twitter, but also from what I refer to as the Rhode Island Problem, which is that all of my friends live out of state, and sometimes very far away. So named the group the Rhode Island Problem. The Rhode Island Problem is just all the people that are like the overlap between the horsemen and the state. Uh, we were trying to figure out some free days or free times where we could get together and do a couple things. Those couple of things were going to Salem before Halloween, not on, because we don't hate ourselves that much. Uh, and also going to the King Richard's Fair, which is the local Ren Fair. So, Renaissance Fair for the uninitiated, which I haven't been in many years. But Gloria has been wanting to go, and I've been saying we'll go, and then we've been not going. Uh, Winter makes for some pretty pictures, I agree. And so we finally decided to buckle down and like I sifted through all the weekends that I have available, and we decided to pick one. I only had 2 weekends available, um, so you know that's what I mean. Between now and Halloween, I had 2 weekends available. That's a little bit alarming. Oops. Alright. Let's do that. Let's do this. Let's do... Oh, you know what? I didn't move the trees to make a smooth edge this time. Let's try to do that a little bit. Jersey is like the first person that really left an impression on me from Mark's entourage. Just to talk about him for a sec. He might even end up seeing this because apparently he's an old subscriber of mine. And yeah, because he was following everybody else around, sort of like at a... Well, everyone like ran, and he was catching up with them, and he catches up to everybody, and he just like cusses them all out, which was very funny. Man's a character. And I was a little bit taken aback by this, and then I got to know him a little better. Of course, when I realized it was Jersey, it was like, oh, okay, yeah, right. Makes sense that you're just mouthing off. No offense, Jersey. I hope you take no offense, because I thought it was a riot as well. And honestly, that's sort of... It's like when Vert goes off on someone in the Discord or whatever, and it's just like, oh no, he's not mad, that's just how he is. So hard searching your channel. When I type Admiral Ellis in the search bar, I get the real Admiral Ellis. If you go to just youtube.com/Admiral Ellis, it actually takes you to the community channel, because that was the URL for that channel. But yeah, they need to be linked better. I think if you go to youtube.com/c/Admiral Ellis, it'll take you to mine. Sorting that out has been a nightmare, and honestly, someday I might just have to contact like Google support and talk to a human being after being on hold for 75 minutes. And then, get that squared away properly. But yeah, Jersey was like, I know who you are, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I know, I understand, I've had a presence on Ice's channel a little bit, and he's like, no, I know you from your channel. And I was like, oh. And I didn't really know what to say, because it's very rare that I run into one of my 2 subscribers in the wild. Or my 2 viewers. Well, we have 3,000 subscribers now, so we probably have like 4 or 5 viewers. And yeah, I'm sorry about that. When I picked this name, I didn't know there was a real Admiral Ellis out there. Really, there can only be one, so I think he and I will have to go into the Thunderdome and just sort of figure it out. If you want to speak to a human, press 11. To have function keys on your cell phone. Alright, let's do this. That green that I used to mark the edge of the field, I actually quite like. Just type Admiral Ellis with no space and it works for me. Oh. Whatever you do. See, these days I can just say, hey, go to theironhorseman.com and buy trading cards, or, whatever. Duke it out in Loco Dome. Yeah, somehow if he wants to play Loco Dome, I'm down. Which, speaking of Loco Dome, I mentioned this already, I mentioned it previously, but within, I don't know, the next couple weeks, probably. Actually, no, let me get the trading cards out first. Let me get the trading cards out first, and then we will be doing the Loco Dome thing. Yeah, Bombs 321 still works. I think youtube.com/bombs321 still takes you to my channel, because it's from an earlier era. That URL will probably never change, and I don't think there is a way to change it. It's like baked into YouTube now. It's from a different time when you could have a custom URL that was just straight up your username. I remember your 2006 being less than a decade old. Yeah, mine is still my OG name. Yeah, and that's just. I don't think we're ever going to be able to change that. It's kind of funny to think about, but yeah, here we are. Let's do this. God, I made the trees a little too dense, but oh well. I think maybe if I nix like 20% of them, it'll work. I can do that. It takes a little bit of doing, but I can do it. Fill that in. There we go. It's always interesting to talk about usernames and how people come up with them. It's so common these days to be it's so common these days to have a very straightforward username. I'm not saying like the days of, back in my day we had much cooler usernames. No, I just feel like it is more acceptable to have a screen name that is easily sort of linkable to you, or to just go by your name online. You know, you know, it did used to be this big internet security thing, and then Facebook happened, and whatever, nobody cares anymore. Um, let's see. It was taken from a locomotive that's still of CSX's roster. That's neat. Somebody out there is named Crazy Eights. I bet. Has to be, right? Let's see. Let's grab this green. I think that dirt color is just going to remain. Then we'll have to go over the edge with the muddy color, and same with the river and the riverbed. We also have to come back here with the shrubs instead of just the grass. And we have to do the other side of the river too. So that's something else that we've got to take into consideration. We've got to do the other side of the river. And we have to do the other side of the tracks, but, one thing at a time. Let's see, it's 8:07. Okay. So. I haven't seen that engine in over a year. I hope you find it. I hope it's still around. There's a bug in here. Okay, so we got to do this part. I'm going to move this tank out of the way so that I don't accidentally delete it. Let's see, do we go and we fill that in, or do we go and we do the shrubs? I think we do the shrubs. Let's get the stuff on this side of the river done first, this side of the tracks as well. Supposed to random get views. I'm weirded out by that people watch what I post. I know, it's a weird feeling, isn't it? I mean, I could say something snarky here, like, you're posting something on the internet, of course people are going to watch it. But it is, it is one of those things that you don't necessarily internalize that those are probably real people that are taking a look at the thing that you made. People like to see number go up, but really it's, every single one of you is fantastic and awesome, and I love the fact that you are, a part of my community, and really a part of my friends, because I don't like parasocial relationships just like as a concept or as a thing. It was one of those things where I did kind of feel weird. The Narrow Gauge convention with Mark and all of his people, it was really interesting, but it was also really weird because I've never gone out to see like another YouTube personality or whatever. I mean, I guess I went to see Drakenafel, which was neat. So that counts. But like I've never met, an actor at a con or anything like that. I never had one of those senpai notice me moments with someone who's big and famous. Uh, but this was the closest thing to that. Although I don't feel. I'd like to think that my relationship with Mark is not in fact parasocial. Um, Especially because I got to know him not by being somebody who followed his channel, but by him being a friend of a friend and wanting to play Rare Tycoon. I talked about this sort of while I was there. It's like my appearance and appearances on his channel have sort of been like, you know, when Y was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go play Rare Tycoon later with Mark and Leighton," I didn't even know it was being recorded until I got there. I was just like, "Hey, so oh, that's awesome. Any chance I can jump in? Because I'd love to play Rare Tycoon." And then there we go. It's just a thing that we did. And then I invited him to play Locomotion because people were asking for that, and we actually talked about that on a thing that we recorded, um, just very briefly. These are like the lost heist videos of the very poor Locomotion episodes. Um, got shown the anime version of Warships. Oh, was it like Azure Lane or something? Oh shoot, I gotta get my daily in War Thunder. Is it Azure or Azure? I don't know. I've never played it. I just know of it. Speaking of cursed stuff, when I was with all of them, Jersey talked about a video of exposing Mark to terrible, uh, like terrible locomotives that he had compiled, which is amazing, and I cannot wait for this to exist. But he's also like, "You should be there," and I went, Sure, I'd love to be there." I suggested that uh, Mark do a tier list, but like the tier list from the CGP Grey flag video, which is like there's an S through F, and then below that there's an FS through through FF, so we can rank the really bad ones. Anyway, I'll refrain from spoiling things now. But he was showing me, and it's Jersey, so I don't feel like it's that like super critical. It's not like a secret project or anything, like certain other things. So anyway, they will be adding the big boy to Century of Steam. That's a joke. No, they won't. Probably. Never know. Never know. Wait for workshop support. The Jersey list is a thing. Uh-oh, so Tyler knows about the Jersey list. Had a small hand in compiling it? Oh no. Tyler is part of the Jersey list. Tyler, should I be there? Do you like my ideas? I had a few things that I would have liked to contribute. And also, why wouldn't I properly speculate it as to why, like, where Southern Valve Gear should go on the list and why it is problematic in the snow? Which I know Brian was actually just looking up stuff about that. And it was like, because the banana doesn't shake. It doesn't shake its banana. Go for it. Oh, God. I don't know what the hell. Because there was the tier list that they did for that other game Once Upon a Time, and I feel like this should be that, but just with extra categories of failure. Because I feel like that was that not an extremely popular video? And you know what? I gotta look this up. Let me just look this up, see how the numbers did on that. Heist RRO tier list. Let's rank the railroads online tech tree with my train friends. It did get 44,000 views, which isn't incredible, but it's pretty good. Um, it's more views than some of his later Derail Valley videos, which, man, do I love those. The narrow gauge railroad in Jamestown, Ohio got a new project logo. Is a narrow gauge railroad in Jamestown, Ohio? Wait a minute. Jamestown, Ohio. I have no idea what this is. They have a narrow gauge railroad? I know the J&L got the 62 finally. Jamestown, Ohio is small. I feel like somebody's confused here, and it's probably me. I think you mean Youngstown. Yes, Youngstown. There's a Jamestown, Rhode Island. I was just there. Just a random thought. Finally figured out some, like, easy pass shenanigans. For those who... for the few that were in the call when I drove home from the Downey Scenic, and I was worried about running out of juice, running out of dollars in my Easy Pass because toll road's bad. I finally got that sorted out. Had to go there in person. There were some indignant people in that line, and they had a long line too. But they were running a tight ship. The fella that was running it was running a tight ship. Well, I mean, the WWF is going to make shingles at some point. Also, the narrow gauge railroad in Plaster City, I think, at the end of the Impossible Railroad, at like the east end of the Impossible Railroad, that's still a thing. That they do work. They make gypsum board or whatever. They make sheetrock, I think. I can't remember the name of the actual town. I think it's Plaster City. Yeah, thank you, Tyler. But yeah, the WWF wants to make shingles, and also the, I mean, I guess it is by extension still for tourism purposes, but carrying trains to the main locomotive and machine is a thing. Yeah, no, Dragon, you are an astute observer. I've been so tongue-tied today. I swear to goodness gracious. I swear to the good Lord at 40ph. But yeah, no, I broke 3,000 subscribers while I was away. I came home and noticed it. And I was just like, huh? Like I mentioned earlier, my channel is in a period of growth that is literally unprecedented. It's just the algorithm has decided to love up on me, and also the whole thing with Heist, which is awesome. You know, rising tide lifts all boats. That guy's a legend, and it's awesome. Love it to death. All right. It's funny when even some of the boomers at the club know who Heist is. These VODs make so many views. These guys don't really, but sometimes the podcast will. I actually haven't really looked at the numbers on this. I'd like to think that the, I wish Locomotive Versus and Loco Royale and stuff, I wish that did more. Oh shoot, there's football on tonight. Maybe I'll put that in the background while I stream. I gotta do, like, 3 things at once. Maybe I'll just go hang out. Maybe I won't stream, I'll just go hang out. But I've been playing Railroute by myself. I would like to figure out how to get Railroute onto a flash drive. We gotta get sponsors for Pod, yeah. Honestly, we could just spoof our own. I just spit everywhere. My bad. We could just do like our own advertisement of, this is sponsored by Locomotive versus Trading Cards. Buy yours today. TJ, you and I still need to make a new intro for the podcast. Oh man, it's something that crosses my mind every once in a while, and it's just like, yeah, it's a thing that's got to get done at some point. I'm going overboard on this, and I know I'm going to end up having to redo it on this side of the river, but oh well. And to come back to the rivers on the map, some of them are not going to be so little. I think the one at Ravenbridge is actually going to be fairly substantial. It's going to be... I feel like I should model it after the New River Gorge almost. Almost? Would you like to be a lord? Yeah. I own a plot of land in Scotland, and now I am a lord. Those things are basically scams. Like, even if it is legit and you get to, I mean, you can call yourself whatever you want, but it's like the, it's like the first step down from a scam. It's not lying necessarily, but it's not, like, useful in any reasonable way. You could just just lie about it yourself. Just be like, yeah, no, I bought that thing. Call me Lord now. I don't know. It's a neat gift to give, if anything, There we go. I know, Dina has one of them, which is, I mean, it's kind of funny. Yeah, it's like buying a star. I wanted to say it's like buying a star. I don't know if it is slightly more legit than that, though. Because, I mean, this land is in fact owned by somebody, whereas the star thing, it's just, they say that, but I don't think it really, it doesn't like translate to NASA's database or anything. Sorry, just gonna stretch. Views have been fluctuating from high 200s to high 300s. I don't get why or how so many people watch them. His lordship Dean the Man in Lamp. His lampship. I'm gonna assume that Dragon wasn't talking about my videos, but even if he was, yeah, fair. I don't know either. Why are you all here? What are you doing? Yeah, it should come with, the lordship should come with a free Volvo. That's the Swedish lordship one. Oh shoot, I didn't mean to. Alright. Can I turn this like so? And like I said, I don't want to accidentally delete that. Let's tree tunnel this to the 9s. Tyler, I've always found it funny how that's like your favorite joke now. Just taunting Dean with Volvo. Alright, let's put this along here. Yeah, no, I don't know why so many people are watching me either. I mean, I get it, but sometimes the algorithm is just like, here's a video, and just shoots it to the top. There's some of the podcasts that are getting, dozens of thousands of views, and I don't know why. I don't understand what's going on. The Mitsubishi. Yo, do you guys still make this? It's a 0. Let's get rid of these. Uh-oh. I brought back coronavirus and Gloria has it. Baby? You okay? Yup. Everybody's got a little sicky. I know! Deleting all of his cookie progress. No, you can't. There's too much. Dean, just imagine how much time you'd have to spend deleting it. I had like a head cold almost. And I feel bad because I might have given it to Weibelt's girlfriend, which I probably got on the plane because flying sucks. You're strapped into a sardine can with a bunch of other people. Of course, on top of that, I also had to be strapped into a sardine can on the bus to get to the airport. So, yeah, it could have come from anywhere. This is how disease works, folks. It just goes around and around and around. The easiest way to never get sick is to not go outside. But you should go outside and touch grass. Ooh, allergies from harvest is rough. Allergies in general are rough. Don't like them. Get them out of here. Something else I had for the first time while I was in Colorado, or something else that happened while I was in Colorado, I should say, is that I had Popeyes for the first time. Which, love that chicken from Popeyes. Honestly, it was pretty good. I have nothing bad to say about it. It wasn't outstanding. It wasn't like the best chicken I've ever had by any stretch of the imagination. It was definitely just okay. But it was pretty good for being okay chicken. I did not have Rocky Mountain oysters, no. I was kind of wondering if there was a Rocky Mountain thing that, between you and school-age individuals, yeah. Children are disgusting, but it's okay. But yeah, no, I was kind of gonna ask, like, hey, is there anything Colorado that you think that I've missed, like that I should have as a meal here? And I knew an answer was Rocky Mountain oysters. I knew it was something that Weibold would not force me or even try to convince me to eat. But it is a thing. But no, I'm good. I don't need to eat those. Watching the Zombie Train series until episode 250, yeah, damn. Why? There are some old videos of mine that have totally, like, disappeared. There are, like, old... I won't call them gems, but there are things on this channel. And in fact, I think that the two videos that I did in Locomotion with Heis are kind of up there in terms of hidden stuff, because they came and they went, you know? It'd be nice to do that again. I don't really have a way it was rough the first time around. Everyone go tell Mark that you want him to play Merger Mania. It should be Merger Mania should be I'll run the game and then we'll have Tyler, Weibold, Leighton, Mark. First episode was me RPing. Yeah. Weibold, Leighton, Mark, and then a bunch of random people. We'll do like Jersey. It could be Jersey. Could be like Auntie or Goose. The best part about Merger Mania is that it's free. Should be a diner made from coaches in the next town. Ooh, that's a good idea. These are all the people I'd want to drag into this. Oh, he wrote me into this. Here's the problem. Here's the problem. Uh, I could make a DM group and start just roping people into it, or, and the issue with that is, excuse me. The issue with that is that a DM group fix thinking. Um, DM group maxes out at 10 people. So for a full complement, I would have to play, which is fine, but not super conducive to me running the thing. I run the thing. Okay. Did I explain the rules to Anthony besides hey trading card? I didn't really have time because I didn't have like a moment where it was just me hanging out with Anthony to be like, hey, so this is how a game works, blah 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 blah. But if you wanted to drag him into a Royale, that'd be fun. He seems like a good sport. Celebrity Royale. He would be the fifth. I think you were talking about him being the fifth way back in the day. Can't totally remember. I think we have too many trees. We definitely have too many trees. This is not good. Um, hmm. What to do? What to do? We're gonna have to trim these forests. Is this area all as bad? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, whatever it is. It's fine. It is what it is. It is what it is. So got that over there. Um, hmm. But yeah, I didn't get the chance. We were just I mentioned it and he seemed really interested. So I had a second where I showed him the RGS 20 card that I was carrying around for Leighton. And yeah, he thought it was very cool. It's funny to see how long people spend with the thing and if they turn it over and read all the numbers and whatever. Uh, I when I gave it to Mark, he just sort of like looked over the factor of it. He looked over the front and he was like, "All right, what did you get wrong?" And then he said, "No, okay, everything's fine." And then looked at the back and he read over the numbers and then he saw the factor of adhesion and just like balked at it and was like, "Yeah, we feel that because it's 3.7." Let's do this. This. Yeah, I need to update like my abstract and everything. Mostly to point out that some of these things are very negotiable uh, for when I'm selling to museums or trying to wholesale them because it's not something that I want to make money on. It's just something that I want them to be out there. I want to make trading cards. That's just what I want to do. I want to make trading cards. All right. Let's fill this in. Should just be quarantining after getting off any plane ever. Remember when that was a big thing? Oh, you've got somewhere. Just go sit in your room for 2 weeks. You've been somewhere. 2 weeks is a long time. Let's do this. I'm thinking of inside. when you're a kid who is stuck in your room. Should I pull the shrubs out a little bit further? Feel a trip to Phoenix is in the future. I mean, it'd be nice. Have you heard of the guy that caused the flight to return to his departing airport because the guy had the runs? I haven't heard that, but I believe it. That's rough. He's having, like, dysentery and going to die. Or, like, fumigating the plane. I had a rough time because I'm lactose intolerant, and right before I got to the plane, I had a big thing of mac and cheese and also a milkshake. Because I was looking for a good milkshake, like, the whole time I was in Colorado. Originally, we were going to go to Red Robin, and then they had to wait, and neighboring BJ's did not. So I agitated for BJ's because I like them better than Red Robin. And I feel like it was the right choice overall. Although a while later was like, oh, we couldn't go to BJ, or we couldn't go to Red Robin and get the milkshakes, so now we haven't had milkshakes. But yeah, after that it was just sort of a, okay, this is going to be marshy on the inside here. I'm going to put trees around like that. I should probably mark off the edges with the splines first. Okay. It's about halftime right now. Alright, I like this. It's looking good. I'm so glad with how this area is coming together. Just gonna go along the way here. There's our little underpass, which I love that also. I don't even know what's going. What I don't know what. Got a milkshake at Sonic. That runs the whole way down the aisle of the plane. Oh God. Get a milkshake at Sonic. You know, I got another milkshake at Sonic the other day because they're on sale, or they were anyway. They were on like wicked sale, like $1.99 for a small one. And I went, I can't say no to that. I want a milkshake for $1.99. Alright, let's fill in this grid area under here. There we go. It put in some... DQ has 85-cent blizzards all month if you use the app. Damn. I've been to DQ even less than I've been to Sonic. It's such a... It's not even like an afterthought in terms of restaurants for me. It doesn't exist in my mind. Sonic now is on my radar after this set of deals, and like, I'm interested. And like the limited time, the buffalo chicken dip bites, very good, very worth it. Definitely will, like, has attracted me to Sonic. Blizzards are the modern frenzy from Friendlies. I can't even remember the last time I've been to Friendlies. Actually, no, I think we went on Apollo for Gloria's birthday, I think. But it's, once again, it's a thing that's just not on my radar. Hasn't been for a long time. I don't even know why. I guess I just didn't live near one, or I haven't lived near one. Usually I'll take like a Newport Creamery over that. But the thing with Newport Creamery is I've been kind of disappointed the last few times that I've been to Newport Creamery. Especially with the food. Is that the wreck of 87? I see you, Dragon. I see you. Yeah, it's starting to get to me. I'm going to do my best to power through the rest of this here. The other thing we need to do... I do want to switch gears a little bit because I'm tired of what I'm doing. let's see. Let's see. So I do want to make this mostly flat. Notably, we're starting pretty flat and we're ending pretty flat. A bunch of friendlies closed, so they're a bit harder to find. Yeah. I want to look on maps for something really quick. Just in the vicinity of some rivers in, like, the Midwest nowhere area. Yeah, no, it's just, like, marshy area with some trees in it, and not quite what I'm thinking of. Although that's a cool trestle. You guys can't see what I'm looking at, unfortunately. I'm sorry. But I just wanted to pop in and see if there was anything sort of prototypical to what I was thinking of, which is sort of a so if I think I'm going downhill here. Hold on, sorry, my hair is itching. So I think I'm going downhill here. Let me just double check. Let me check the gradient here. It's 0.25, and yeah, this is higher than this. And I think the land here is going to have to go up very subtly, and then go down, and then level out. I think. Well, because we're going down, yeah, okay, yeah, okay. So, what I think I want to do is I want this to get deeper and deeper into a cut. We've done a lot of fill, so it's time for a cut. For M standard bump. And if I put this on, let's see, let's do a 0.03 gradient. Very flat. Kansas pancake flat. What? Wait a minute. What? Hang on. Is this going up? What in the goddamn... Hey. Hold on. Let me just... What is the height here? It's 62, right? The height over here is also 62, right? Or no, this is going to be less than 62, right? No, it's 68. This is up? This is uphill? Oh yeah, I guess it is. I guess it would be. Okay, so it's going to be the opposite. We're going to probably stay kind of level until we have a little rise at this end. Make water basins. That's a good one. I think I'll put... Remind me when we get over here to do that, or out there to do that, because I don't feel like I have room for that over here. Unless I want to put one, like, off the side of this river here. But I don't even know if that'd be necessary with the climate in this area. But then what do I know? I'm not a farmer. Right, so we are ascending. Reforesting this region. Or deforesting this region because more farms. Yeah, well, that's... The only trees are really these things, these, like, swaths of trees that are close to the river. Otherwise, there is not much. Especially this area here, which is just flat. Just flat. And it is dead flat. And that's one of the things that... That's one of the things that I kind of want to rectify, but I don't have the capability of being that subtle with that broad of a brush. So, like I said, I wanted to go into a cut here. So we're looking at a gradient maybe... There's at a depression, the railroad crosses over with a small town of Woodland at the bottom. That's probably... I don't have enough room for that. We need to think about... We are about to run into Bellington here. We are about to run into Bellington. If we want to put the railroad up on a bridge... Here, let's hop in the screen share. God, my hair is a disaster. Look at that. It's just sticking up. I look like Elvis. I've got the thing popped up in the front. Look at the map here. So we are here. We're about to run into Bellington here, which is apparently higher than where we're at, but whatever, I digress. This is all going to be farmland out here for the most part. It's going to get a little bit hillier in this direction. And this right here, I could see this being, we sort of punch through the mountains. We find a little notch, or just a valley that's not so bad. Because this is going to be relatively shallow. Again, relatively speaking, it's going to be shallow. And then you could have a town that's like in a valley. If you want to pull a stream off of this river here, then you could have the tracks come over on some sort of bridge. But again, not anything too crazy. Not like it's soaring up in the air, hundreds of feet up in the air, but probably like a few stories up, I could see. A couple, maybe. On some sort of viaduct. The big what bridge? The 2 what? The big 4 bridge. Oh, the big 4. Oh, that makes sense. But yeah, we can put that town on a depression. A little bit. Alright, so let's crank this up then. Let's go to 0.3 instead of 0.03. Now, it's still pretty low. I remember that I suggested you a thing with viaducts in Bellington. I need to remember what. Yeah, that'd be cool, if you remember. It's looking more like we're going to put the viaduct somewhere else now. Actually, you know what? I need this end to be 68. Let's go straight to 69.5. Check the latest stream. This is weird. It's not sticking to what it should be sticking to when I place it. And this... We need like a curved thing here. So grab this height, which is 69.5, grab this, grab this. Let's draw a topo line, basically. Nope, wrong thing. Gotta make a water mill. I don't know what would be left of one. We have a couple. Or we have one that was formerly and one that was like sort of formerly. Yeah, I think the best way to do this is via terrain tracks and topo lines. And in fact, let's draw a second topo line. What height is this? Is this 69.5? No, it's 62. Let's talk about... Oh, forest track stone viaducts. Yeah. Thank you. Keep that in your brain somewhere. Or write it down, maybe. I think we're going to draw in another like I said, another topo line here. It's going to be the quote-unquote steep side. I'll take another screw. Alright, and this is 69.5. Screw shot. Yeah, watermills, I mean, needing your head race and tail race and your low head dam, you know, it's stuff that I've tried to emulate a little bit. We might see some more way out by, way out on the Mansfield Branch Railroad. Or even like way out there if we have sort of a branch off the branch. You might also see some on the the 2-footer, which I can't remember what the 2-footer is called. Hold on. Let me just look it up. In fake model rating, Control F, Emden. Oh, the Emden Tombstone and Gulf. The E.T. and G. That's the name. So yeah. Let's... Okay, we're gonna have to do terrain tracks for this. It depends how big of a water mill we're talking about, you know? Because if we have like a little one, you know, like one out of the countryside somewhere, that's very different than a large mill complex that is still powered by water in not the modern era, but would have been many years ago. Uh, you know, getting close to the modern era. I don't. There really aren't that many mills that hung on to water power into the 50s, except for really, really rural jobs. Not as far as I'm aware, anyway. If we go back to the two ones that we have the grain mill in Pan Am, which there isn't a lot of evidence of the head race and tail race, but you can at least see the dam. The head race would have come in this way. Tail race would have come in that way, or come out this way. The wheels would have been in this building here. And the other one is Jasper Mills. You have a mill building, which would have had a water wheel at some point in time. Other than that, I don't have any place for a water mill yet, but, well, let's take a little detour then. Let's go look at the map again. Screen up. So, we probably would have, so we're on the south side of the peninsula, someplace we'll never get to, but we can speculate, we can think. This is one of the newest narrow gauge lines, so it definitely doesn't have it on it. Cedar Springs, Cedar Isle doesn't have enough elevation to draw that. You might have some really old school tidal mills that were built here, but they would be definitely gone by the 50s. So your chance is up here on the run to Albion. You would probably have maybe something in here, maybe some stuff over here or over here, just random little stops along the line that would be, you know, gravity mills. I could see something out here, close, you know, halfway between Bellington and Douglas, but it just doesn't strike me that that would have persevered. Same with along these electrified right-of-ways, rights-of-way. Just doesn't strike me as something that would be there. So, if anything, we'll probably have to save it for the 2-foot. And so I'll write it down in my ideas document. How about ideas? 2-foot. Oh, I didn't, it's the Addison Springs branch. That's that. Industry ideas. Told me for the Bursington bar called Hey Ho. Um, big hospital. Let me write down. Let's see. Let me write it down. The Emden, Tombstone, and Gulf 2-foot. Water-powered mill on a run to Albion. Let's see. Called Homer Rhinestone. Addison Springs. Coal coking, coal breaking. I'm trying to make sure that there's nothing that I'm missing here that I need to remember for the immediate area. Okay. Um, Civil War era fort. We do have a castle somewhere. We do have a castle along the valley line. Why we have a castle, I've never explained it, but we have a castle. Yeah, you'll be 35 when we get to Albion, but Albion or bust. If Albion is the last thing I do, honestly, looking at the map, the last things that get done. Oh, let's go back. Let's go back. Let me not talk and point without you guys seeing. The last things that get done are probably going to be this line up to Albion here, because you have to get in from this end because this is not connected, and probably the Addison Springs branch. Either that or yeah, I mean honestly that's it. Because I bet what we're going to do is we're going to slowly fill this out, but we're also going to do this. Then we're going to get stuck down here for about 20 years. And then we're going to build along here and then meet it with this. The shoreline is going to get done before the interior stuff. And this is going to be some of the last main line that gets built. I would assume. And then I'm going to probably come back and do this, although this might get done when I do this. So that means this is probably going to be the last thing that gets built. Or this, like, quadrant is the last thing. We'll see. Actually, yeah, the more I think about it, the more I have my money on this. But this is another good contender. I'm going to be at Skyline someday, and I'm going to just want to go this way. And I'm going to just do it. I'm going to bang out Everett Lake. I don't know. Maybe someday. Army Station Albion. Yeah, Army Station Albion, except Albion is the middle of goddamn nowhere and is only served by the 2-foot. The 2-foot does not make any money. The 2-foot is barely clinging to life. And it's a real wonder why it's still around. Sounds like a perfect spot for a base. It's not an area of strategic importance. It's not an area that's near any population centers. It's not an area that's easily accessible. I can see why it would make sense for like a base in fiction, like a Groom or like a Groom Lake sort of facility, but there's no way you'd bother with that out there. It's also not flat. Albion is at the bottom of what would have been a pretty substantial grade if they had ever managed to get it built, to get up to Skyline area. Or not Skyline area, to get up to Columbia area and the coal mines up there. Tolbrand is... I don't think there is a border anywhere close, although I have thought about Wombeck being sort of like the south end, like this is the southern end of a country or something. Now I'm just staring at the map. So I've thought about it being sort of strategically important, uh, but I haven't put that much thought into it. I mean, we're definitely going to have a military base somewhere. Um, if I wanted to put it anywhere, Wombeck would probably be the place. There might be like some sort of naval air station on Meridian Isle, which would be neat. I mean, it is. Hmm. Yeah, I haven't really thought about where I would put Navy stuff. I mean, Southport and Saugus, that's probably where you'd have a sort of naval base. Um, and then a naval air station somewhere, maybe up on like Maw, maybe near Maw. Um, and then I don't know. I don't really know where else you'd put something. Again, maybe an army base in Wombeck or maybe an army spur. I know there's a there's a fort way off map, but I think that's as far as I've ever really considered it. What would be present? What World War II fighter would best represent this role? That's an interesting question. Uh, what World War II fighter would best represent this route, Spitfire or Mustang? I mean, of those two options, probably the Spitfire because it's designed for shorter range ops. Uh, but I don't necessarily know if we'd have that. Hmm. I'd actually kind of imagine that Naval Air Station Enterprise. Okay, let me write some of these things down. Have I Army, Military, Navy, Navy Yard here on Meridian Isle. Um, Probably in Southport slash Saugus, and then let me make a second. Let me make a section for military. Navy base in Saugus, Southport, um, Naval Air Station in GC somewhere, Maw question mark, um, Naval Air Station Enterprise in Gilson City somewhere, um, and then let's see, Army base near Wombeck, near or in. And then that means we're missing an Air Force base or something. We need to figure out where to put an Air Force base. Is Tolbrin strategically or politically important? I mean, I feel like Tolbrin as a region has its own self-contained politics, which would include all of like New DMAG, Anaconda. Although we could make New DMAG the capital of a different country, which would be interesting. Wouldn't it be Army Air Force at this point? Well, it's the 50s, so maybe. Chair Force Base. And having a munitions depot would be interesting. That would probably be outside of Wombeck. Because Wombeck has all the chemical plants and stuff. Air Force Base with a giant Zeppelin hangar has got to go somewhere, though. Make it a new base that just cropped up. I would like to have some sort of... I mean, I feel like, yeah, no, the Naval Air Station would probably have the giant Zeppelin hangar. Because that would be part of the Navy. Are we never giving this fictional country a name? That's a good question. I haven't really thought about it that much. Naval Air Station, Enterprise. Um, with giant airship hangar. Yeah. Where to put new Air Force Base? Yeah, I don't really have a name for this nation yet. We will see. Yeah, they had. I mean, I wouldn't really call them aircraft carriers. More like tenders, but yeah, technically aircraft carriers. Um, a military base in that tramline city would make sense. Tramline city. Oh, wait, I know what you mean. Yeah, just no room there in the valley. Country of Arusia, other continent. Um, there's a couple of names I have floating around that could be worthwhile for this, but I don't know if they would work. Let's see if this is working or if I'm gonna have to angle them to match the slope. Oh, are you still seeing my screen? No. Okay, cool. Just gotta check. Gotta keep an eye on that. I forget oftentimes. No, not monkey bananas. But yeah, Mason Valley is probably what you're thinking of. Although there was a little military base in, shoot, what is that? East Doe Cliff. You can see the Quonset huts there. It was just like a training camp of some description during the war. Or maybe it was just barracks. I'm gonna go look at some pretty things in a little bit. Once I'm done filling this in. And this actually, it looks okay. It looks okay. We'll do fine with this. Um, we have a castle over here. Monkey Bananas is Mason Valley. Mason's Landing is the one by the water. There's the castle. Don't have this textured yet because I'm still not sure exactly what I want to do with it, but there's the castle. Um, oh, and you know what? I have to turn off the gradients. Hold on. Let me... Gradients. That helps. That helps immensely. It actually does not help as much as it used to, but oh well. What did I want to come look at? There was something that I was like, ooh, this is pretty. I want to stare at it. Oh, I know. Oops. Show search filter. Oh, yeah, see, I was supposed to create the location bookmarks, and then I forgot. Where's Pan Am? Here it is. I wanted to look at the airport. I always forgot you can clone stuff in 2.0. No, I I just don't feel like it. Wait, what do you mean? How would cloning help me here? What should I clone? Get rid of that. Coastal defense guns. Yeah. I don't know if that's something that we have in Trainz, really. But it would be neat. Effing pretty. Um, Okay, back to work. Oh, you know what, though? Ooh, there is something that I can do in Surveyor 2.0. We'll get to that. It's going to make my life a lot easier, hopefully. I think we tried it once before. The issue with this is I can't clone it because they're all different lengths. And I have to tailor each one based on the sort of angle of this. This map is gonna... yeah, it's gonna push boundaries. It already does. It pushes boundaries on a daily basis. It pushes my goddamn boundaries. Especially when I have the AI turned on. Ah! You guys have seen it. You know what I'm talking about. Lose my goddamn mind. Alright. I guess I won't go over the tracks with this. Because I don't need to, because the tracks are going in, like, straight lines. Hey, it makes me want to... yeah, no. I mean, yeah. I totally agree. But at the same time, I don't think I would care nearly as much about Trainz if I didn't have AI to play with. At that point, I'd just go, like... I don't know. I'd play a different game. What game is this, but without the AI? RO? No, I don't know. I actually don't know. Genuinely don't know. I mean... Get rid of multiplayer, or get rid of AI, make multiplayer doable. That was the point, but I'm not even sure if the map is capable of it anymore. Originally, I wanted to do multiplayer on this, like OG old school multiplayer. That was one of the constraints. But I have so much packaged stuff, I don't know if it's possible. Theoretically, you should be able to drop this route into MPS and it would work. Like, it would be able to get to all the assets if you install the right content packs. But the Mikado just wants to go to Sodor. We haven't tested it with the new Mikado yet. I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know how it's going to do. Genuinely don't. There's still other, like, bugs that we're tweaking and stuff that we're getting out. If I end up... hope to God that I can make this on time next week. I don't see why I wouldn't be able to, but it's been such a hassle so far. So far these last few months, since the beginning of the summer. You know, beach be like that. It beaches me off. If we can do this next time, then I will sit down and fiddle with the AI. I hope. Alright, when we've done the farms, I can actually mark off one thing on my to-do list, because we've finished the farms up to the river here. Life can be such a beach. 50's right, didn't the GP9s first see service in the 50s? Yes, I believe I have one, or several, somewhere. We do have Jeeps. Dragon, do you hate sand because it's coarse and rough and irritating and gets everywhere? Love the beach. I'd like to go back to the beach one more time before summer's up. I don't know when, but sometime. Saturday is a PN op session for if TJ and Mew want to sneak down and get you guys in. Starts at 1. Check-ins at noon. But just throwing it out there. And then Sunday, yada yada, I don't know. It's because of the burn and no one wants to play in the water with me. Oh, lame. RDC's also, like, there's a lot of, like, first in the 50s. They call it the transition era for a reason. Because I get drowned. Oh, well, that's not fun. I love me the beach. It's probably chilly down there right now, even though it's been hot all day. It's so nice. The temperature drops like 10 degrees when you get to the water. What I would give for a sea breeze on most days. But I'll take snow before that. Love me some snow. Orion hates snow. I love me some snow. Love snow, I can throw it at people. You can throw anything at people if you're brave enough. Oh, for those who did see the crazy Heist stream, uh, when Heist is recording and Anthony walks up to him with a clipboard with quote-unquote orders from dispatch that say, skill issue, get good, signed dispatch. When Mark goes, where did you get a clipboard? That, number one, that's my clipboard. Number two, that's my handwriting. Number three, that's my piece of paper, which was something for work. And then Anthony eats it. He shoves it in his mouth and eats it. The words I used were, this is for work, so I don't even care if something happens to it. But complete destruction of the sheet of paper is not what I expected to happen to it. But, you know. And I got hit by very few limes, but I did get hit by a by a Rice Krispie treat hummed at, like, Weibald's maximum velocity that smacked me in the side of the neck while we were just hanging out and watching YouTube. While we were waiting for my flight. He gets up, he's like, oh, you want a Rice Krispie treat? I'm like, yeah, sure, you know what, I've been having terrible snacks all day, what's one more? And before I can even look over, this thing nails me. I'm impressed I don't have a mark. It's fantastic. Good times. Okay, now that we've done this, we're going to use Surveyor 2.0. Holy crap, that's a lot of terrain tracks. Okay. Surveyor 2.0. Let's grab... The cat is using the cat box. Oh, shoot. No, I didn't want to deselect that. I'm acting like I'm doing cat for some reason. Alright, there's all those. And I think I can click on this and say... No, I can't, not that. Click on this and say, smooth ground under selected. What the hell just happened? Oh, because I'm really dumb. No! Okay, never mind. I skipped a step. Stop the cat box. Like, you gotta stop him or else he scoops all his litter onto the floor like a maniac. I can hear him going. Venkman! Ask the vet why he does that. The answer is, he just does that. Love him, though. I missed him a lot while I was away. I missed Gloria, missed the dog, too. Missed Lafayette a lot. I wanted to pet every single dog I saw in Colorado, and there were a lot of dogs in Colorado. Thankfully, everyone that I got to meet was a very sweet boy and let me pet them. Or everyone that I, like, tried to pet was good about it. And they were all very cute. Venkman's gonna venk. I'm gonna venk. Yeah, and Mew, if we're doing the Ren Fair, you're welcome to stay over here instead of driving back and forth, or if you're coming to be a part of that. I don't actually know if we need to buy tickets in advance. I looked into it and didn't get a straight answer. I'm going to assume the answer is no. Question I'm having, what was the hurricane's path? I can't wrap my head around it. I'll show on the map what you could probably figure. Smooth ground under selected. Wow, that went pretty quick. Do it again. One more. Cool. Delete. That's wonderful. Okay, back to the map then, to show you where the hurricane hit. The hurricane probably came in, if you can see my cursor, which I hope you can see my cursor. You can see my cursor, I think. Yes, baby? Oh. Can it wait like a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. The hurricane would have come in like this and just like smacked up everything in here and then just gone like straight inland and petered out. It probably didn't make it. It might have effed up some of the stuff over here. This route is much more robust. I don't think it made it to Akron except for some poor weather, like rains and stuff. So, it just oh, I forget you had a place over there. Mubby. All right, turn off screen. I'm sinking because I'm slouching. Um, but yeah, the hurricane came down and just like slammed into the coast over there. Cat 1 died out quick. Yeah, no, it wouldn't have been like a world-ending storm in the modern era, but in that age, it was fairly substantial. You know what I mean? Oh, shoot. No, that storm was something that shaped the. Oops, Can I just like grab, grab? Oh, nope, wrong thing. Grab. This was a storm that shaped the fate of the peninsula. Okay, well, whatever. Those two are just gonna have to go on their own. Smooth ground underside. How about Hurricane Lee? Oh, Matt's here. Like, just as a name suggestion? Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Surveyor 2.0 is weird. Yeah, it's nice. It's different. It's nice, though. I mean, honestly, just being able to do this, that's nice enough. Alright, back to Surveyor Classic. They've even started changing some of the UI stuff in regular Surveyor and the game as a whole. It's interesting. Okay, the point was to have these guys in a cut. They're not really in a cut. They're actually very flat. Which is okay, because it means that there's going to be a much more substantial rise between here and there with how high this is. Yeah. Yeah, that worked. Some people would have revolted seeing Surveyor get changed. Well, the thing with Surveyor 2 is it overlaps substantially, but not completely, with the things that Surveyor 1 does. So there are some things that you straight up can't do in Surveyor 2 that you can do in Surveyor 1, or at least that are harder to do, versus, and vice versa. I've said it before, but being able to jump back and forth between one and the other is the best decision they could have possibly made. And it's not even like it's the least bad. Like, it's a genuinely fantastic decision. In those days, they probably did not name storms. Also, I mean, it was the 1870s or whenever that it hit, so it's not like they would have even known it was a hurricane. It was just a really bad storm to them. if I can finish this bit of terraining before I get wrapped up today, then I think I'm gonna call it. You know, I'll consider this episode a success, and I think I'll be able to do that as long as I move quickly. I need to put down, like, let's see. So there's like 760 meters. Each one of these grid lines is 10 meters. And I just realized I probably should fix this one that I put in a little shaquad. And we're doing every other. Any old tornadoes? Not that I know of. This area is flat, but it's not very big. After the storm, I would have to dig into the lore to tell you. But hold on, let me do some quick maths. 72, half of 72 is, or half of 70 is 35. We'll crank that up to like 38 for generosity's sake. 38 times 3 would be 90 plus 3 times 8, which is 16. So it's 116 of these to get all the way across, which ain't that great. I don't know if that was a text or what, but my phone just went off. That seems like it was a text. Oh, it was Heist going live. 114? 114? Last time I checked, 3 times 8 is whatever, never mind. Oh, 3 times 8 is 24. Oh, I was thinking 3 times 6. Oh, yeah. Good point. Anyway, whatever. It's in that ballpark. It's like 100 and change. The number 76 had been bouncing around in my head as like a marker for these. Oh well. Yep. Well, I know where we should all go after this. Let's do this. Let's do this. I wish I had a sticky note that I could have just put on like the shelf behind where he sits. Just drawn a little crude pineapple drawing, just been like pineapple was here. The pineapple cup is behind Jersey for like 10-15 minutes. Just on the shelf. But then I got thirsty, so I took it back. He's got a hell of a setup. Apparently the first named storm was in 1947. Yeah. Hurricane George. That is earlier than I would have thought, but yeah, it's definitely later than the 1870s era of the giant storm on this route. Yeah, that is neat. I find it strange that they started with G, but I guess the modern arrangement where they just sort of rotate through the letters and then they rotate through, like they increment through names as they go, hadn't started yet. And also, way more storms get named than we hear about in the news. Because only the big ones make it to the news. The people that are really into it, they hear about all of them. I'm not one of those people, but I'm sure they hear about all of them. But yeah, maybe the modern like way they do the naming started a little bit later, like started in the 60s. But there was a period of time where they were just throwing down, they were just sort of making them up as they went. And yeah, no, they do retire those, they do retire names. Like, we'll never have another, like Hurricane Katrina, you know? Oh, Katrina is the one you just brought up. Yeah, I think it does have to do like I'm sure you're reading about it right now, so I'm speculating, and you've got the facts out in front of you. But yeah, it is neat. It's a whole thing that they do. Let's do this. Oh, did I? Oh, I've been off by one. Well, whatever. Just got to carry on. We are most of the way there. We're more than halfway there. We're probably edging on 2/3. We have another half an hour left, so we've got plenty of time, especially with the little Surveyor 2 uh, time saver. Let's do this. We go, we go. What is the most crazy thing? Depends, like, railroad related thing or just thing in general? Because I don't have enough lore for that. And I don't feel like making it up on the spot. Um, the peninsula is a busy place. It's a diverse place. It's got a lot of cities. It's got a lot of people. It's got a lot of stuff going on. Infrastructurally, I don't even know what of the railroads would be the craziest thing. The causeways over the the causeways over the from Noah. Thank you. Several hundred years, many hurricanes in the West Indies were named after a particular saint's day on the hurricane occurred. Oh, neat. Um, eccentric characters. That's a good question. I don't have a lot of named characters so far. There are people that show up in like one or two bits of lore, but honestly, nothing crazy. Um, Nothing really crazy yet. The barge bridge is nuts. Yeah, the barge bridge is a little unusual. But apparently, not only did I learn that that happened in multiple, like, places, not only were there multiple places that had one on Lake Champlain alone, there were enough of them that they got their own name. They were called draw boats, which is a fascinating name. Hurricane Santa Ana. Oh, wow. 1825. Wow, that's early. That's really neat. I love this rabbit hole. 1825. Just because it landed on that Saint's Day, huh? It's interesting. We're almost done with this. Once this thing wraps up, if people jump over to Heiss's stream, draw boats works pretty well. Yeah, right? It's a fascinating name for a fascinating thing, and it fits, you know? I definitely can't complain about that as a title. Okay, let's do this. Loose lip sink draw boats. Making this a stream is much more enjoying the video. Interaction with the creator is nice. Lore-wise question: it's the 50s, so post-World War II. If that happened, would the war prizes been docked at the naval yard until this world's version of Operation Crossroads? That's a really interesting question. I wonder if they would be docked here, because yeah, I don't know. I haven't really dug into this that much. I mean, this is the American, sort of the Americana vibe, so it would make sense that this is the side that won the war. So you would have war prizes. You might have something like that. What year did Crossroads take place? Was that the late 40s or early 50s? Because I'm not up on my Oppenheimer lore. Saw Barbie, but not Oppenheimer. Do the assets exist in Trainz? Honestly, I mean, East found a bunch of ships. I'm sure you could find something. Not that I would be putting them in. I mean, I'll probably be looking for some kind of, some kind of warships. Oh, 46. Okay, so immediately after the war. So there, if that happened in this timeline, they would have been long gone already. Alright, let's... Okay, we've almost got these done here. And then we're going to wrap up after this because I need to check on Gloria. Gloria's coughing her lungs out. I gotta eat, and I might be back, and I'm sure everyone wants to go hop on Heisa stream too. So, Surveyor 2.0. We got 2 big things done today. I feel like that's worthwhile. Click on this. Smooth ground. Smooth ground. Smooth ground. So the paint under selected is another nice thing that we have now. Whoa! Game no happy. Game no happy at all. Alright, smooth ground. Also, my throat is getting a little sore from being also a little sick. Oh shoot, I missed it. Oh, I didn't flatten these. Whatever, we'll have to fix this in Surveyor 1 then. (4M) standard bump. The texture track. Let's do that and that. Still flatter than I had anticipated, but that's what we got. Is this a spline point for this track? Vertex missing / unloaded. What does that even mean? What does that mean? Oh. What? That's interesting. That's something I've never seen before. The Surveyor 2-in-1 stuff presents sometimes interesting questions and conundrums. Anyway, I might add another little rise or something, but for now, yeah. Here's our wrecked hopper cars in the river, in the drink, and if we want to talk very briefly about what happened to Olive in the storm, you basically everything here is built after the storm. Nothing survived. The storm surge came and basically just demolished the whole town, which for the most part was it was a little different. The main line was closer to the shore, and also a lot of this area had been farming land, and that how do I phrase this? It encouraged that land to be subdivided. Bunch of people just effing died. Tannehill is the author of the book called Hurricane. Interesting. Okay. So, anyway. That's what we've got done today. The cut actually does not go as deep as I had anticipated. Like, this wasn't really what I was planning on having this look like. Not remove an end vertex. End of what, though? going on here? Oh, is this something was straightened and now it's not? There we go. I'm still going to make the hills full of livestock. Maybe once we get down to that area near or before the Raven Bridge tunnel. I missed the lore why the king cut. Really it's just the railroad decided it could be flat through here and so they were flat. But the other reason is why the long cut. There are two reasons. One, so that the railroad could stay flatter, and two, so that they could get fill to use elsewhere. Because notice that a lot of the railroad up to here is on embankment. So you've got to balance that out. You have to balance your cut and fill so that you don't have to acquire dirt from elsewhere. This is a lot of embankment, and there honestly should be an equal amount of fill, or sorry, yeah, there should be an equal amount of cut, but I just haven't bothered to make that because it doesn't look as good. So, for now, we just sort of have to deal with the fact that these guys are all embankment and no cut. It's a little bit of... no, that's still pretty much embankment. I like this. Can't wait to drive more trains on it, or at least watch them go by. Anyway, we're getting into Bellington here. We probably shouldn't go past this line without figuring out stuff about the towns and their track arrangements. But that is a tantalizingly close proposition. I am very excited. Mining fill, yeah, I mean, I guess you just getting it out here would be a pain. That would be off-site fill, which is sort of what this was trying to avoid. Anyway, I'll see you next week. If you pop over to Heisa Stream, tell him I sent you. This is the Admiral, signing off.